Hi everyone, my name is Lexi. Thank you for clicking on this video and thank you for being here with me. I wanted to share just a very brief intro about myself, my elevator pitch speech as it were. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope you decide to stay a while and that the content that I am planning to produce for you is just as compelling and useful and helpful as I pray that it will be for you. Yeah, my name is Lexi. I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I wanted to share kind of a little bit of background about me, just high level so you understand where I'm coming from and why it is that I feel that I have a stake in the game, and kind of where I've been and why I'm here now. I was a corporate professional. I used to work for the Hartford Insurance as a workers' compensation adjuster, and then later on a team leader and a learning consultant finally before leaving the company in 2021. Like many, I woke up to kind of the matrix around us and what's going on in the video game that we're all playing right around 2020, right after COVID. And shortly after that, I started working with a mentor who taught me a lot. And one of those very early things was just to connect to myself, be able to sit in meditation and feel like I can actually hear myself think, and the actual true soul me, not the ego mind or anything like that. No programming, no subconscious biases, no other issues other than just myself. And in doing that, I very quickly realized within I think a week of actually working one-on-one with her that I was done. I was done with corporate. And what happened to me the day that I decided was I felt trapped. I felt scared. I felt actually how I feel now, which is interesting because I'm just now realizing that I felt the very same way because I was scared of the unknown and I was scared of what was going to happen or come next. I grew up with always having a plan. And if there wasn't a plan, then we should panic. So for me, not having a plan, walking in one day while I was at work, sitting at my desk in the downstairs of my parents' basement I was living with for the last year and a half because we were all convinced that the world was going to end after COVID. And I was working for the Hartford still. And in sitting, just wallowing, really, I kept thinking to myself, why is it that I feel this way? Why is it that I feel so stuck and so stagnant and so scared? What's wrong with me? What's going on with me that I feel that way? And what I didn't realize then that I do now as I'm making the same connection and realization is that there's nothing wrong with you. If you happen to feel this way as you're listening to my words and you feel similar, know that it's not just you. A, that feels that way, but B, it isn't you. 9 times out of 10, it's our guides, our spirit team, our ancestors, the universe, source, God, creator, whatever you want to call it. It's the universal plan that we feel scared right before we are initiated into major moves, timeline shifts, jumps, etc. You get the point. So again, I'm sitting there at my desk doing my work, typing away on my keyboard. And when I was a learning consultant, I was in the job that I had basically dreamed of since I started at the Hartford and realized that you could actually make a career of doing that, teaching other people how to do their job. And obviously there's a lot more that goes with that, but kind of the high level. And when I was sitting and wallowing, I remember feeling this overwhelming feeling of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And for the very first time since I was a kid, I heard my conscience, my intuition, myself very clearly say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then that became a chanting in my brain that I could not get rid of. And as I sat there with this overwhelming feeling of gratitude and completeness and understanding, I felt this immediate activation from my heart chakra. It felt as if there was a bright glowing green light that just shot right out of my chest, right out of my heart center. And in that moment I knew I was done. And so I got up, walked around the corner to where Erin, my girlfriend, was, and I shared with her what had just happened. And I said, I think I'm going to put my 2 weeks in. And that was that. And she said, okay, go for it. I trust you. I'm scared. This is scary. I don't know what we're going to do now. Because we were both working in corporate at the time. We were both making a lot of money. And obviously that's how they keep you there. So I went back. I logged back onto my computer and I sent a message to my boss and said, hey, can we talk? And that was it. And I gave my 2 weeks. And what followed was the last 3.5 years or so of discovery. Finding who I am again. Realizing that not everybody has the answers. And in fact, no one else has the answers except for yourself. And it took me a lot of time, and it took me a lot of money to realize that. I quit my job without another job, without a safety net. I didn't have a mass amount in savings. I had a 401k that I cashed out. And with that, I had about $80,000 that I had left to basically live on. And when I continued working with my mentor, I, over the course of a 1.5 years, ended up spending just about $80,000 to work with her in various different programs and coaching containers. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Again, I think the biggest lesson and the biggest thing that I've learned is that no one else has the answers except for ourselves. And so for me, coming out of corporate America, coming out of an entire lifetime of not truly understanding who I was or knowing who I was, going through intensive bullying as I was growing up, going through periods of truly believing that I was magical and that I had magical powers and that I was able to do certain things, and then having the entire world basically tell me that I was crazy and that only special people get to do stuff like that. And so I believed it. I allowed other people to convince me that I was anything but divine, and I allowed other people to take my power from me. And granted, all of these things I did. Make no mistake, I allowed others to do this to me. But for me, really. Because nothing is ever happening to us or against us. It's always for us and for our highest good. Always. Even when it seems like it is definitely not. It's always showing you something. Always. So this very long-winded ramble that I promised at the beginning would not be a ramble turned into a ramble. But as you will soon see with me here on this channel, I have a tendency to do that. And I'm okay with that, because what I found is that my voice, and by using my voice, by using my channel, spirit comes through me to say exactly what it is that I need to hear, and most of the time other people need to hear as well. So with that, I hope that you find yourself a wonderful space here. I hope that you find a community. It's truly my goal that this becomes a collective, because really what we're trying to do is awaken and create consciousness. Remembering that we are conscious and remembering that we are collectively all together. We are one. And so with that said, I will leave you with just the very last bit, which is that I have spent oodles of time, oodles of resources, figuring out and learning various different things. As you'll see on my wall, I have all my degrees because, that's important. But really the two main ones that I would like to point out is my Holy Fire Sui Reiki, and that's 1 and 2. And then at the very top, which you probably aren't going to be able to see, is my Holy Fire, or rather my New Earth Reiki Master certification that I received as well. So I've spent a couple of years going through and actually mastering, becoming a true master of Universal Life Force energy of Reiki, and of coming into deeper understanding and realization that for those that haven't been initiated, so we'll say, for those that are coming out of corporate like I was, or coming out of abusive relationships, or coming out of tumultuous times, whatever those may be, that the first thing that you should probably invest in is a good nervous system regulation teacher or a guide or somebody that can just help you recognize that the first step to coming home to ourselves is slowing down. Just slowing down. The entire world around us is created in such a way that it feels like we can't slow down. We have bills to pay, we have jobs to do, we have kids to feed, we have responsibilities. We have things we have to do, damn it. We have to rush constantly. Constantly. So the first piece is learning how to just slow the fuck down. Just slow down. That's it. And the rest comes. It truly does. I've worked with so many people over the last few years as clients, working with them initially as Reiki clients, and as we work together, source, their guides, ancestors, the universe comes through to give them different actionable items to just, hey, try this. And what do you know it? In a couple of weeks, couple months time, people are telling me that their entire world has changed. That wasn't me. I didn't do that. I don't change people's lives. I just give you the blueprint for how to do it yourself. How to remember that you can do it yourself. And at the end of the day, all we have is ourselves. So, with that said, and before I get too emotional and wax poetic here, again, thank you so much for clicking on this. Thank you so much for being here. If you are here, know that you were meant to be here. I have spent countless time and energy setting this space so that it is divinely guided to exactly who needs it when they need to hear it. And with that, I love you so much. Know you are love, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited to share with you everything that I've learned, and hopefully by sharing myself, it inspires you to do the same. And with that, have a great, wonderful rest of your day. I cannot wait to see you soon. It will be soon. Love and light, y'all.